So, guess who we met? Doug Schoon.
Hi,
Doug,
everyone.
at Orlando Beauty Show. So, Doug, you know everything about nails. What are you doing at this show?
Well, come to learn more about nails. There's always something new to learn, and by coming here, seeing the new shows, the new innovations, talking to nail technicians about the challenges they're having, I'm here to learn too.
Awesome. Are there any latest news discoveries, maybe, in the nail scientific world?
I think all the new discoveries are actually happening in the medical world. They're learning more about the natural nail, how it grows, what the anatomy is, the physiology of the nail. So there's a lot of exciting research going on to finally understand the nail and more about it, which is what we really need to know.
Awesome. So, this question was covered in this book, but for Russian audience, I have this question. So, the word pteriguym, right? This is the wrong term. We should not use it to describe the skin that spreads like a cuticle on the nail plate.
Well, many words are actually medical words, and when we misuse medical words, that's a problem. Pteriguym is a medical word for an abnormal growth of skin. The problem is that word is applied to normal growths of skin. And unless it's an abnormal growth of skin that shouldn't be there, that's being stretched, it can't be a pterygium. So if you look up the definition of pterygium in the dictionary, you'll find it really does have a medical definition, and we should all be using the medical definition, which would mean to call abnormal growths of skin that are stretched out or abnormally. Those are the only things that are actually pterygium.
Right, so many nail technicians are complaining that they do not have enough knowledge at the nail school, at cosmetology school, right? But they have, some knowledge, but not deep enough that they need to work. So what would you recommend them to get that knowledge?
The big problem with nail schools is they teach skills. So you learn how to do things, but you often don't learn why to do things, or you don't learn what to do when something goes wrong. When everything is going great, you don't really need to understand product chemistry and science. But when things are going wrong and you want to troubleshoot and you want to figure out what should I do, that's when you have to learn more. And that's why I do what I do. I provide extra information that's not taught in schools that really helps nail technicians, once they get out in the industry, to be able to troubleshoot their problems, solve problems, and even prevent problems that plague other nail technicians because they don't know as much. So after you get some skills, the next best thing you can do is start packing your brain full of knowledge. Because the more you know about the products, the more you know about the nails, the better a nail technician you're going to be, the better you'll be able to help your clients, and the more money you'll make, and the more you'll be able to help the industry grow.
Right, so Doug does an amazing educational episodes and books, so where can people find them?
My books are called Face to Face with Doug Schoon. They're available on Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Nook, Kobo. I have 3 volumes, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And they're all questions that nail technicians from around the world have asked me. They ask me questions, I answer them, and I put them in a video, and some people said, well, we want to be able to read what these videos say. So my books, Face to Face with Doug Schoon, are actually the scripts for my video series by the same name.
Okay, and a question I always wanted to ask you, so about this Russian manicure, I read your article about the danger ahead, Russian manicure, and I know that, you don't, right, like electric file is dangerous, so should nail technicians use electric file at all, only for removing product, or can they use it for the skin if they have enough skill?
Well, electric files are fine if they're used properly and they're used correctly. Many times people will buy them and they don't take the time to get the proper education, so they end up using them incorrectly and causing problems. So that's the first thing you should do, is get education before you use one. Now, many people are using them to trim the skin around the nail plate. That's a very advanced technique that's not easy to do. In fact, it's easy to do incorrectly and cause damage and cause infections. So it's really, really important to be ultra careful. Myself, I don't like this technique simply because the potential for infections is very high. And if we're abrading the skin and getting product against it, that increases the potential for allergic reactions. So myself, I think it's risky business when nail technicians start cutting the living skin or abrading the living skin, because it opens the skin up for infections. So myself, I don't believe that we need to use this technique. Much of what's being removed by these types of machine manicures is skin that's hardened, that's been caused by doing a machine manicure. So if we stop doing these manicures, the skin won't be hard and we won't need to cut it. So it's like a dog chasing its tail. These kind of electric file manicures create the very skin that they're trying to remove and increases the potential for allergic reactions and infections. It just seems like it's trouble waiting to happen. So myself, I don't recommend that nail technicians do this type of work. There are better ways to take care of your client's living skin around the nail plate. Keep it supple, healthy, condition it, but don't cut it.
Right, and cuticles is there to protect the nail, right?
Everything there is for a reason. And if we don't understand those reasons, oftentimes we'll do things that are actually harming our clients or ourselves and not realize it. And that's one good example. If we're too aggressive in that area, it can lead to infections, loss of the nail plate, even loss of a finger or a toe if we incorrectly manicure or pedicure these sensitive areas. So it's very, very important to be gentle with your client's skin around the nail plate and not treat it roughly.
Yeah, completely agree. So get education, learn from Doug Schoon if you don't want to get in trouble.
Face to face with DougSchoon.com.